to the channel, everybody. My name is Randy. Of course, this is the 55 Garage. And today, we're working on the Miata again, and I'm finally getting around to installing that fuel pump. So if you've been following along and watching the previous videos in this series, you know that I am working on the fuel system for my Turbo Miata build. I've already installed a new fuel rail from Radium Engineering, as well as I have installed a set of 640cc injectors from Flowforce. So today I'm going to be addressing the fuel pump. Now in the previous video, you guys already know I got a Deatschwerks 200 fuel pump put into this car, but I decided to save the installation for its own video. And the reason why is, looking at the way that my roll bar is set up in the car, my harness bar goes directly across where the fuel pump is on this car. So hopefully I can get this all out without having to struggle too much. I'm really hoping that I'm not going to have to remove the roll bar. I don't think I will, but be prepared for some choice curse words and a lot of struggling. So with all that said, let's get to it. Here we are back at the car, and as you can see, this is the harness bar for my roll bar, and this is a Hard Dog M1 Sport for the NA, and underneath this cover is where the fuel pump resides. So hopefully I have enough room to where I can get the fuel pump assembly completely out and get it clear past this bar, because I really don't want to have to unbolt this bar and remove it just to change my fuel pump. I'm laughing because of the absurdity of this all, but I'm sure people have been able to remove their fuel pump with one of these in their car. So to get started, we need to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips head screws to get this cover off. So once you get that cover off, this is where your fuel pump resides. And now normally what you would do is you would pull the fuel pump relay and then crank the engine to relieve any fuel pressure. Unfortunately, I can't do that because, as you guys know, I pulled my engine. None of that stuff is hooked up yet. So I don't think there's any fuel pressure in the lines, because a while back I did disconnect the lines going to my fuel rail, so there should be no pressure in the system. I'm going to double check, and I'm going to open the gas cap to relieve any pressure there. There should be no pressure anywhere in this fuel system. I'm just doing this as a failsafe, but there is an electrical connector here that you need to disconnect, and then these two fuel lines need to come off, and they're just held on with 2 clips. Just use a set of pliers and get these out of the way, pull these lines off, and then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 small Phillips head screws that you need to remove, and then you can lift your fuel pump assembly up out of the tank. Okay, so here we are back at the table with our fuel pump assembly, and what we're going to need to do is, there is an electrical connection that we need to remove. Then we need to disconnect this hose clamps here, and then remove this rubber band from the housing, and then there is a Phillips head screw right here we have to remove, and then all of it should come free. So first things first. Also, you notice I am working on a piece of cardboard because it just makes the cleanup easier. You will be leaking gasoline, so keep that in mind. This is the stock fuel pump, and there's nothing on here that we're going to reuse, so you can just kind of sit this off to the side. This is the new fuel pump. This is our new fuel filter. Let's go ahead and put that on. There is this cap that you can just remove. And to put this on, you'll notice that your filter has a plug that needs to be removed. And this fits over the end. And then there's a little tab you need to mate it up with. You push that on and push it far down as you can. And then this little guy here, it goes over this plastic tab to ensure that this doesn't come off. And then when you get it done, it'll look like this. Take the new spacer out of your kit and just put it onto the bottom like so. And so that fits back on there. Next, come to the top, remove this cap. Go ahead and attach the fuel hose. Put that back on. So what's happening here is the aftermarket pump is a little bit taller than the stock pump. And I have to trim the hose a little bit to make sure everything fits up nice. Now I got all my connections tight, the screws back here, and this is ready to go back in the car. Using this pump is pretty much a direct remove and replace. You will have to shorten up this fuel hose right here, but other than that, it was nothing really complicated that I had to do. So next step is put this back in the car. Now the cover's back on, the fuel pump is installed and ready to go. Usually this would be the point when you would hook up your battery, plug back in your fuel pump relay, and go ahead and prime the pump. But like I said, can't do that yet because my car's not pulled back all together. Now that the fuel pump is back in the car, I'm going to consider this video a wrap for today. Now, I have upgraded the fuel rail. I've also upgraded the fuel pump. What I would consider to be the finishing touch to this fuel system upgrade would be the installation of a new fuel filter. Unfortunately, I don't have one on hand right now, but if that is something you guys would be interested in seeing, make sure to drop me something down in the comments and I will add it to my list of videos. With all of that said, I hope you all are enjoying this video and the Turbo Miata build series as a whole. And if you are, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Liking the video helps me out because it bumps me up in the various algorithms that exist out there in cyberspace so people can find my content. As well, when you subscribe to the channel, you know exactly when I drop these videos. As well, make sure you're following me on Instagram, on the website, and also checking out my Patreon. There is content that doesn't necessarily make it into a video, but I feel it's good information nonetheless, so I share it on those various media platforms. Also, make sure to check out the shop. I have had new merch drop. This is one of the new t-shirts, and what is a greater gift than giving the gift of 55 Garage? Other than that, there is a lot of work that I still need to do on this car. There's a lot of things I still need to research. There's a lot of stuff I still need to buy. So I am going to wrap this up so I can get started on all of that. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves wherever you are and you're staying safe. And I will see all of you on the next one.